Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and I'm here for a stitching update. It's Wednesday, June 6th, I believe, and I was going to film Monday like I normally do, and my husband's work from home days swapped. Usually he works from home on Wednesday, so I'm here on Wednesday instead, and it almost didn't even work out today, so I'm hoping I have enough time to do this today. I may do another one tomorrow just for the World Cup, so that I don't have to spend time to do that today. So let's get going. First off, I wanted to share a while back in the beginning of May, middle of May, I think it was the beginning of May, I had a secret stitch and I didn't show you, and then promised to show you pictures and then didn't. I forgot. So I forgot to take a picture myself, and the stitch was for Shelly, Key X Stitch here on Flosstube. She had a birthday in May, and I've become good friends with her, and so I thought it would be fun to make her something, and she likes kitties. So what I made her was from this ballet soda stitch that I have, and I'm planning to do this little one for my daughter because it's a little girl with a purple tutu because she likes purple and kitties, and she likes kitties. So later on I'll probably start that one at some point. I may eventually do the whole thing just for me because it's cute, but for Shelly I just did these little guys right here, and I didn't include the heart, and I ended up, instead of the yellowy color for the ground, I used some green, but it was from these, it was from the Little House Needleworks I was currently working on, and I just pulled some thread out of that, and rather than going to find a green that I thought would work, and just used that for the ground. So it looked like they were outside. So I'll show you a picture of what that looked like right here. And that was my little stitch. I finished it onto a card for her so she could kind of just easily just prop it up somewhere on display if she wanted to, or I don't know, whatever she wants to do with it. But I gave her that and some other little goodies for her birthday. So that was the secret stitch that I failed to show you. I also got some Stitchy Kindness this week. So first, I have piles everywhere. First, I received another little, not little, but another package of Stitchy Kindness from Debbie Duarte. She's in Canada, and she had adopted my Mickey and Friends whip several months back, and has already given me one package that had a mirabilia in it. I forget what the lady was called now. It was turquoise, and gave me some DMC to go with it, and also some Crescent Color Works, maybe, Weeks Dye Works, or a few of those that she didn't want to use. She tends to be a DMC and Ada stitcher, and so when she gathers some of these other threads and fabrics like even weave and linen, she would rather sub it out for Ada. So she gathered a few things that she no longer wanted and asked if I did, and I knew there was one piece of fabric that she'd asked about, and then I get a package and there's a whole bunch of fabrics and threads and a couple patterns, and so thought I would share that with you. And I'll probably keep some of it, and then some of it I may scatter in other packages that I give people, either thank you packages or birthday packages or Stitchy Kindness or giveaways or whatever. So I may sprinkle a little bit out to the rest of you as well, but I'll probably be able to find uses for a lot of it. So first she gave me some neutrals that were Weeks Dye Works and Crescent Color Works. So those are nice browns and tans and greens, and then all these pretty bright ones. These are also Crescent Colors. Very bright colors. I love these. These are probably my favorite. And then she also sent me a bunch of Lizzie Kate fabric that came in some Lizzie Kate kits. So there's a whole bunch of linen in here that came in Lizzie Kate patterns that she had wanted the pattern but not the fabric. And that's how I got the silk gauze I've been working with too, because Shelly had gotten some patterns that came with the silk gauze and wanted the pattern but not the gauze. So that's how I ended up with those little pieces too. So it's been kind of fun to, you know, be the recipient of some extra stuff. And here my cat wants to come up and I don't have any room on my lap for you right now, Kitty. I know. Almost, maybe. Then I'll move this stuff over. She also gave me a fun Canada magnet. That'll come in handy on my fridge. It's cute. Polar bear, moose, and maple leaf. And then some even weave, which was, oh yeah, and a kit. Oops, watch out, Kitty. A little Mill Hill kit of a Christmas goose. And it looks like it's 100% beaded. So that's kind of fun. And some even weave. So there's 22 count hardanger and these look like, I know one of them is 28 count. I think the other one is probably 28 count as well. They're 28 count like tan, and then a 28 count pull stitches dragon shades of Cosmos. And this is the one I knew was coming. Isn't that pretty? So it's a little piece, and it's purple and pink. I mean, not purple and pink. Purple and blue. Purple and blue, and kind of sky Cosmos colors to it. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it, but I do want to use this for something fun. Like I could put a silhouette of some kind on here that will show a lot of the fabric, like black stitches, or if I do something with beads, I would have to do it over 2. So if I do something over 1, I could get a larger design on here. It's 28 count, so I could do something over 1. I don't know if any of the Heavenly North design silhouettes are small enough for this piece of fabric, so I'll have to do some research and kind of dig around and see what I like the best, but that's really fun. So I'm looking forward to stitching that. And then oh wow, and then a Bent Creek, the swirly sampler. Well, that's fun. And then, so thank you, Debbie. That was really a really generous, fun little gift that in the mail that I was not expecting to be as big. But I understand, like, I'm doing the same thing with the gift I'm curating right now, that it kind of feels like you want to make the postage worthwhile if you're going to be mailing something anyway, so I kind of get it. Let's see, the way postage is these days. My cat is nuzzling my head back there, so hopefully that's not distracting. Let's get this all put away, and then maybe she can come sit on my lap. Alright, kitty. Here we go. I'll move this over here. Move all this stuff over here, and then you can come down here. You want to come down? We'll see. We'll see if she comes down. Come on down. Come on. Yeah, you're just going to stay up there? So, and then Shelly came and visited yesterday, and we just stitched together for a while. And let's see, she brought along a lavender and lace Christmas rose that she had received in a package of Stitchy Kindness that she got. And so I had this on my wish list, and so she brought it over to me. And it's kind of a small one, so I might just give that back to her when I'm done with it, because I think she would actually enjoy it. It's not too overwhelming of a size. Come on down, you silly kitty. And then she gave me a tacky bob. I guess she had an extra one, and I've never used one. I guess they're sticky on both sides, and that's fun. And I know, like with Mill Hill beads, I have in my beading tutorial that I just open the Mill Hill bead pack and just pull them out of the Mill Hill container. But with the little delicas that I got for my chatelaine, they're in those little skinny tubes, so they're harder to get to. You have to spill them out somewhere to be able to use them. So this will be fun to use, especially for those little tubes of beads that I have on my chatelaine. So thank you, Shelly. And she also brought over the next Little House Needleworks July and August, which she has finished, and I finished the March and April one and give that back to her so she can work on that. So we did a little exchange. And while I'm on that subject, I'll show you my finish of March. This is what it looked like last time. And here it is now. The little, the lacy bit around the edge took a lot longer than I expected, but it turned out cute. And these little like 4-leaf clover trees and little sheeps, so that was cute. So now I made a start on May, which is the next one, and I'm not even gonna really bother trying to get them in any sort of like getting them done before the month is here because I already have these Joyful World ones done, so I'll just work on these whenever and just try to get them done. They're still my travel pieces, so during the summer my travel stitching will look different because I won't have the valet line pick up at school anymore, but I will have a little bit more traveling on occasion, so we'll see how quickly I can get through these. So this is my start on May. This one is May with the house and the big flowers. And this is where I've got 2 on that one. So I got started in the middle and did the yellow and then just kept going on the yellow until my thread ran out. It's called Queen Bee, this color. It's really rich, pretty yellow. And then started in on some of the green, which is like Weeping Willow. I'll show you the colors for this one. These packs come with their own 6 colors. So these are the colors for the May and June. So those are nice. I like that one. And that one. And that one. Lots of pretty colors. Alright. And then I also picked up, while I was at Michael's the other day, I didn't find what I was there looking for, which I'll share in a minute, but I did pick up a frame for my Anne of Green Gables quick stitch, my little tiny silk gauze that's going to be 2 3/4 square. I ran across this frame. I'm going to make sure to put this away so I can work on it and go to pick up my boys later. And so I found a little 3-inch frame at Michael's that I think will look really cute with it because it's a tiny bit Victorian, I guess, so to go with Anne of Green Gables. So I thought that was cute. So I figured I don't know exactly when I'll finish it, but might as well pick it up because I really liked it. So now I've got a frame for that one. And now we're on to what else I worked on throughout the day, throughout the weeks. You knew that I was working on my castle, and I didn't quite finish by the end of May like I was hoping to, because the last couple weeks in May was just really busy with life things, so my stitching time was shorter than it sometimes is. So I think if I had had a little bit less busy days, I would have been able to finish it in May, but as it was, I did not. So I worked on it a little bit more on June 1st. I worked on my start of Winter Queen, which I'll show in a minute, and then I worked on this a little bit that evening. Like, I worked on Winter Queen most of any daytime stitching I had, and then the evening I put a few stitches on the castle, and then let's see, over the weekend I did not work on my castle at all, but then Monday evening I kind of got the bug to just do it, to just finish it. So Monday evening on the 4th is when I finished my castle, and you would have seen this on Instagram, but I will share it here. So this is what it looked like last time, and here it is now, all finished. And it's got lots of backstitching throughout the castle, and some of the leaves and bushes, and the ducks are backstitched, those little eggs are backstitched, the words are backstitched, these little bramble fruit are backstitched, there's grasses there's grasses behind here that are backstitched, and all in the water, and then some French knots in this tree, and down here there's a couple French knots that are yellow, and the eyes of the ducks are French knots. these like fences and things. So turned out pretty cute. My plan, this is roughly 5x7, like it's like 4 3/4 by 6, a little over 6.5, I think. So I was hoping to get away with a 5x7 mat in 8x10 frame and call it a day, because I'm a cheapskate by nature. So if I don't have to get anything custom, I don't want to. Even though on the cover, you know, they show an oval mat, it wouldn't have to be an oval mat to look good. However, when I went to Michael's, when I found that other frame, I was disappointed to find that all the 5x7 mats were actually cut to 4.5 by 6.5. So the overlap was like a 1/4 inch on each side, which would have covered part of this. Like, yeah, you can't, and this is too small of a fabric to fit in an 8x10 frame without anything, like, and that would be too much white space, I think, for that. So I will need to, now that it's finished, I'll need to go get a mat cut for it, and then I'll just buy an 8x10 frame with a custom mat. So that's my plan. So I'm not sure when I'll get to that because, you know, life, but I'm hoping to do that sooner than later, and then be able to come back to you and show you a framed piece and get that up on the wall over the table where my husband is working on his model of the castle, which is kind of fun. So now I'll talk about my new start. On June 1st, it was the first day of winter for the Southern Hemisphere, and so Lorna, the Ladybird Stitcher, and Belinda, the Aussie Stitcher, were both starting all the Mirabilia Queens on the first day of the season for them down in Australia. So I have already finished Autumn Queen and Spring Queen. And when they started Summer Queen, I believe in December, I was considering starting it, but I think at the time I wasn't really in the mood to start a big queen, because I think I had either just finished Royal Holiday or was almost done or something. But so I was kind of on a I don't want another big one right now feeling at the time, but I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't start Summer Queen with them. So when I heard again that they're starting Winter Queen, like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I cleared a little day out of my schedule and decided to start Winter Queen on the 1st with them. And like I said, I worked on my castle a little bit in the evening, so I just got a little bit of daytime stitching on this one. But I'm pretty happy with how far I got. I believe it's this one. This is on MCG Textiles 32 count white linen, because that's what I did the other queens on, so I want them all to match. And that's my start. Yeah, there's a blue, a little bit better shading of the blue. It's the darkest blue in her body. And hey, kitty. Let me show you on here. I believe that's, you can see, that's like right here. Because I started in the middle, like I like to do on these, which was somewhere in this arena. So I did this leg of the color, and then I went up to this leg, and then I counted all the way to the top and did this chunk. And I still had some thread on my needle, so then I went and did some more. So I'm slowly working my way up, because that's how I like to do Mirabilias. I start in the middle to make sure it's centered on my fabric, and then I work my way up as quickly as I can, and then work down finishing it, because I think my stitches look nicer working from the top to the bottom. And I like to have their face done and pretty and watching me while I stitch. So that's how far I got on her, and I actually have decided, yes, I decided just this morning I revamped my June plans, and I'll explain more about that a little bit later on, but I will be working on her one more day in June during the World Cup, so I'll share that later. I probably won't go into my World Cup plans in this video. I'll make a separate video just because I don't have an excessive amount of time today to film. So I think I will do just my regular update and what I'll do for the next week or so in this video. And then if you're interested in my World Cup plans, I'll do that maybe tomorrow. I'll put that together. Or early next week or something like that. Anyways, so that's what I worked on the 1st. On the 2nd, I worked on Touchdown, which is for my son, with the Denver Broncos conversion. And I'm working on his piece every 2nd of the month to go along with the date of his birthday. So, this is what it looked like last time. And this is how far I got to on that one day. I wanted to work on his number, the number 7 right here, and then ended up doing more white and thought, well, maybe I'll just do the ball, because the ball is going to be right here. This is his elbow pad and his glove. Just one color. There's 3 shades of white, but I've only done one color of white so far. And this is a stripe of the ball, and this is a stripe of the ball, so the ball will be right here. And then after talking with my son, who originally wanted me to go for just working on the ball too, he decided he'd rather have me work more on the top also. So I did, before I did the white, I think I did one length of the light orange over here. And then after I did the white, I did some more light and dark orange over here to kind of work on the shoulders. So this will come out one more day in June also. So I'll work more on the orange and maybe even get into the ball a little bit next time. So that was that one. This is coming along really nicely. I really am enjoying this one. So I'm glad, because it's not super girly, but it's still been really enjoyable to stitch. So I'm happy for that one. And I'm hoping going forward I'm going to try to give 2 days to all those each month. So that'll be fun to see it growing slowly. And then I pulled out Storytime Sampler by the Frosted Pumpkin. And here's this. Here's the cover. And this is what June's is going to look like. It'll be Peter Pan. So I worked on that one. And that one is going to come out again today and tomorrow to try to finish it up. And if I don't finish it up, there's a day in the World Cup that's for to set a goal. The theme is goal because it's soccer, and then what you're supposed to do with the theme is to set a goal for your stitching. So if I haven't finished my June scene, the Peter Pan scene, I'll set a goal to work on this. And you know what? Since I have it in there, I might work on the banner more too if I don't have that done, and maybe have the goal be to finish the banner. We'll see. Or if I finish it before the World Cup, then maybe I'll just work on my diamond painting and have a goal be to finish a diagonal of the diamond painting. So, because it is a Saturday, the day that theme is in the World Cup. So anyways, this is what this looked like last time. And here is where it is now. So I started on, I guess I should give you a nice, there we go, because I take these screenshots for the future videos. So I did a lot of the border, not quite all of it, and then I did the hook, and there wasn't any of the dark gray down here, but then when I did the black from the hook, I did all the rest of the black that's in the design. And I think there's some black back stitching too, but I had to wait on that because I don't have the other stitches done around it. So these are his eyes, Peter's eyes, the guns on the ship, and then the pirate flag. So that's kind of fun. So that had one day. That's one day's work, and then today and tomorrow this is my project for today and tomorrow as well. And then again, like if I don't finish it today and tomorrow, then I have one more day in the World Cup that I can work on it to get it done for June. What's next? Oh, and then I worked on Snow Queen for my daughter, because this is her project, and so it's going to come out every 4th of the month. So this is Snow Queen by Shannon Wasselif, and this is the issue 249 of the World of Cross Stitching, 249. And so if you get the magazine, it's in here, and it's also now available on her website as a standalone pattern, Shannon Christine Designs. So I'll link that below as well. So this is what it looked like last time. And here it is now. And so she's getting big. This is almost to the bottom. Like there's some snow down here, but then that'll be the bottom. What I've been doing during the Olympics challenge, as well as this month when I'm just working on a couple days, I've found that it seems nicer for me to just pull out one color and work on that color until it's done. Since there's, like, I don't know, it just seems like it's a little bit nicer for a short time, to see more progress in a short time, to just stick with one color. So last time I worked on her, I finished out this dark purple, the blue purple, and then this time I worked on the darkest shade of the teal aqua color, and then I went ahead and kept going to do the darkest shade of this red purple to finish all of that. Part of me decided to do this color next because I wanted to see where the bottom of the dress would be. Because I was thinking, well, I'll just do the next teal color, but then I thought, you know, if I work on this and there's a band at the bottom, there's white in here. If I do this, then I'll see how far I have left to go to finish the dress, because it kind of is a nice way to see how much is left and not just be this big question mark of, I know the dress is big, but how big? So now I know how big. And I think the next thing I'll do when I bring it out again will be to work on the darkest white. There's 3 shades of white/light blue, so I'll work on the darkest shade of light blue in this white area. And then I'll go back and do like the medium blue purple, the medium teal, the medium red purple, and then the medium white, to just kind of slowly fill it in. I think that might be kind of fun. And maybe as I do this, maybe work on the tree and the snow some more. Maybe when I do these whites, I can do that too. We'll see. I think I was gonna do four total days on this piece in June, but I decided not to because I'm changing my plans a bit. So those are the only 2 days this will see in June. Yesterday and the day before. So that's that. You'll see it again in July. And that's all I've worked on so far since I saw you last. So going forward, my plans, after, you know, we talked about the random whip August coming up that I wanted to do, which will help me work on a lot more of my whips one day at a time, to get 31 different projects in 1 month. That's still happening, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that thought kind of made me feel like doing something closer to that all the time, because I've been enjoying my longer chunks of like 4 or 5 or 6 days on things, but it has, like, time passes so fast when you only work on like 4 or 5 projects a month, and then before you know it, several months have gone by and some of your favorite projects have not been pulled out because there's just no time for them with such long rotations. So I was considering at first a 4-day rotation, then I was considering a 3-day rotation, and then this past week I was seriously considering 2 days and even 1-day rotations, because Shelly Key Extit, she was telling me her normal rotation is to have a different whip every day anyways, so I could just pull a Shelly and work on something new every day, every month, and just have it planned on the non-random months. But I think I settled on a 2-day rotation for now. I want to try it in June and July. July, like I said, is crazy because of the World Cup, but when I was looking, June is crazy because of the World Cup. So my first thought was, I was looking at my June calendar and wasn't sure I wanted to mess with it and just start with 2-day rotation in July. Mainly because I really wanted to work on Twisted Band Sampler longer. I had that down for 4 days in June, and I kind of wanted to stick with 4 days in June. This is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needleworks. And I just have the first cross stitch band and the first specialty stitch band finished. And I'll show you what that looks like. I have been dying to get back to this for a long time, and it just hasn't happened. So I am making it happen now. So here is where I'm at on that. I'm stitching this with the called for fabric bisque, 32 count bisque fabric, and it might be a Lakeside Linens, and I am using the called for DMC. They provide conversions for Aversois silks, Dinky Dyes silks, and DMC, and they give you the conversion on the pattern. So I'm using the DMC colors that they recommend on the pattern, and I'm loving it. It looks beautiful, so I'm really happy with this, and I really want to get back to it. The next band is cross stitch band, so it's not going to be as exciting, but I'm hoping to get a good chunk of the cross stitch band done. I might just sneak over and do some of the specialty stitch band as well, but I do want to keep 4 days on that in June because I just really have been wanting to work on it, so I'm going to. But other than that one, I took out a couple of the other projects that were going to have 3 or 4 days and shrunk them down to 2, and some of them were in and amongst the World Cup challenges, so there was like 1 day here, 1 day here, 1 day here, you know, so I redid my World Cup plans a little bit, not completely, but quite a bit of change. So I'll go over the World Cup specifics in another video, but what I'll be doing as soon as I'm done with 2 days on Storytime Sampler, my next project coming up at the end of the week will be Flower Garden by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm only going to do 2 days on it. I believe it's in this binder. This one is for the quarterly spring Stitch Along challenge in full coverage Fanatics, because that looks pretty spring-like to me, wouldn't you say? So this is by Emily Vernon, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is large, and I'm doing it 2/1 half stitches on 28 count Rose Monaco that I bought a whole yard of a couple years ago. And the seller I bought this from doesn't sell this color anymore. I think it was discontinued, but this is where I'm at right now. I had one color that I finished the week that I started it last Stitch Mania. So this was started a year ago, and I haven't worked on it since then. So not sure how far I'll get in 2 days, but it's better than nothing, and it may come up again in my random month. So that'll get 2 days at the end of the week, and then I'll spend 1 day on Midsummer Roses. When I was going back through my June plans to figure out what I wanted to plug into the empty spots, I decided to pick some Year of Whips pieces just to make sure I continue to give them some love. So this is my oldest whip, Midsummer Roses by Paula Vaughn, and it's a Year of Whips piece. So I thought I should work on that a little bit more. I'm going to work on it 1 day on Sunday is the plan, and then 1 more day during the World Cup Challenge. So here is where I'm at now with this one, which I started when I was in junior high or high school. Probably high school. So there's that one. And I'll probably continue to do what I had been doing, where I just pick a color and then do all of that color. I did that with a lot of the yellow flowers during the Olympics challenge, so I'll probably do that again, where I'll pick a color, either a green or a pink, and just do it everywhere. So similar to the Snow Queen, where it just seems like it's faster when I only spend 1 or 2 days on something to just pick a color and run with it. So that's the plan for that one. And then the next day is another full coverage piece, which is Norwegian Ship Under Sail, which I believe is another Stitch Mania start from last year. And I'll be working on this for a day during the World Cup, but it needs another day. This is 25 count white, even weave of some kind, Lugana maybe. And again, just one column done on that. This is a golden kite pattern, so the pages are smaller. Even, it's even smaller than the large format pages I have on Flower Garden. So, but just one column of gray sky so far on that one. So I'll give that one 2 days in total, but just one day coming up, and then one more day later in the month. Then I get to work on my Twisted Band Sampler, which I already showed you. So I'm planning to do 2 days of the Twisted Band Sampler right before the World Cup starts. And then it'll get 2 separate days in amongst the challenges of the World Cup. So it'll have 4 days total. And I believe that's all of the stitching I have planned before the World Cup starts. I'm not sure when I'll be able to come back and do another video, if I'll make time for a stitch along or if I'll just come back and do an update video. I'm not sure if I'll try to vlog the World Cup. I'm not really sure of any of that. So you'll just see me when you see me. I do hope to do a World Cup planning video either later, like tomorrow or tomorrow, Friday, or Monday. So one of those days I'll kind of hope to come back and show you what I'm planning to do on each day with each of the themes. Yeah. I want to try to vlog, because I want to vlog in August too, so maybe I'll use this as like a trial run. So we'll see. I'll hopefully give one more update video before the World Cup starts. That'll be my plan, but I don't know if it'll happen, so I guess we'll see. And now to August. We talked about having a random month. What I would like to do in August is do a random month where every day in August is a different whip. And I have more than enough whips to fill a month, but I know some people who want to participate don't have 31 or more whips. So if you have less than 31, you could still participate and just have multiples of the same whip, like have duplicates throughout the month, and that's fine too. And some people have said they'll be on vacation or on travel, on a couple of the weeks and participate when you're at home. More than welcome to participate whenever and however you can. The point for me is to be random and to get to as many whips as possible. So for me, I'm choosing to make it 31 completely different whips because I don't want any duplicates. But if you like it to be 100% random and just use a random number generator, and if you get a duplicate, you get a duplicate, that's fine too. I don't mind. I just don't want to do it that way myself. I want to make sure I have 31 unique whips. So what I'm thinking I might actually do is go old school and actually print out a bunch of papers with the names of the whips on them, excluding the 4 that I already know what days I want to work on them, and then put them in a bowl and draw one every day and then throw it away so it's not in the bowl for the next time. So I know for sure everything I draw the first time will be something new. So I think I might just do that. And, oh my goodness, I had so many people suggest names for what we should call this month, and a lot of good names. So, but I think the one I like the most, and a few of you, I got two suggestions for this, completely separate from each other, and then a few more people responded that they liked this suggestion also. So I think I'm going to go with that one, because that was the one that kind of caught my eye as well. And that is Arbitrary August, because I'm planning to do it in August. And arbitrary is a synonym for random, and it's alliterated, so it's perfect. So I'm going to plan to do Arbitrary August, and it's a nice short name too, so that you can easily hashtag it. So that's what we'll do. We'll do hashtag Arbitrary August. If you choose to participate and you want to do some random whips along with me in August, feel free, and then you can hashtag those in Instagram and share what you're doing. And if you don't think I follow you, just let me know, or tag me when you use the hashtag if you want to make sure I see it. That'll be fun too. I've never done it before, but I will probably follow the Arbitrary August hashtag to make sure I see everybody. Especially since I'm the one starting it, so I should probably do that. I've never done that before, but that is a thing now in Instagram. You can follow hashtags, so that whenever somebody posts with that hashtag, then I can see it. So I think I'll do that for this too. So in the meantime, enjoy your stitching in the next, few weeks. Enjoy the, summer ramping up or winter ramping down, depending on where you live, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy stitching!